Most retirees think estate planning is just about having a will, but if you want to truly protect your assets and your family, you need more than that. In this video, I'll break down the 5 must-haves every retiree should have in their estate plan. And trust me, skipping even one of these could create a major headache for your loved ones. I'm estate planning attorney Mike Smith with Smith Barid LLC, and I'm one half of the estate planning guys. And I've helped retirees just like you secure their legacy, protect their wealth, and avoid costly mistakes. And here's the kicker. One of these must-haves is something almost no one talks about, but it's crucial to keeping your family out of court and out of conflict. So stick around and I'll explain. You might resonate with what I'm about to say. Many retirees assume that a will is enough to protect their assets, but what they don't realize is that a will alone won't keep your estate out of probate. And why does that matter? Well, probate is expensive, it takes months, sometimes even years, and it makes all your financial details public. So the solution to this is to create a revocable living trust. This helps you avoid probate, ensures your assets go directly to your heirs, and it keeps everything private. The second must-have is a financial power of attorney. So let me ask you a question. What would happen if you became unable to manage your own financial affairs? If you don't have a financial power of attorney, then your family might have to go through the costly and time-consuming process of getting court approval, something called a conservatorship, just to pay your bills or to access your bank accounts. A client of mine didn't have this in place, and then he suffered a stroke, and his wife couldn't access some bank accounts that he had in his name to pay medical bills because legally those funds, she didn't have access to them. She wasn't on the account, and they were frozen without his signature. So the solution to that kind of a problem is a durable financial power of attorney. And that gives someone that you trust, it could be your spouse, it could be a child, it could be someone else, but it gives someone you trust the ability to handle your finances if you're unable to. So must-have number 3 is a healthcare power of attorney and a living will. Some states combine that into one document called an advance directive for healthcare. In some states, they're separate documents, but they're important because medical emergencies can happen at any time. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. And the reality is that unexpectedly, some medical emergency can happen. And if you don't have a plan in place, then your loved ones may be forced to make difficult decisions without knowing what you would have wanted. So the solution to this is a healthcare power of attorney that allows someone you trust to make medical decisions for you if you're unable to, and a living will, which lets you spell out your wishes for medical treatment such as life support and end-of-life care so that your family won't wind up in a situation like the Terry Schiavo family. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in some states, those are combined into one document called an advance directive for healthcare. Some places they're separate documents, but they're the same thing. And why does this matter? Without these, then your family may end up in court fighting over your care, and nobody wants that, definitely. Now, must-have number 4 for retirees is a plan for long-term care. And what I'm about to tell you is probably not what you expected. The biggest threat to your retirement savings isn't market downturns or inflation or the rising cost of eggs or whatever it is today. It's long-term care costs. Did you know that the average nursing home stay costs over $100,000 per year? And Medicare doesn't cover it. Listen carefully to that part. Medicare doesn't cover nursing home care. It will cover the first 100 days, and that's it. So that's just for rehabilitative care. It doesn't cover any kind of custodial care. So if you need to stay in a nursing home over that 100 days, Medicare will not cover it. I can't stress that enough. And if you don't plan ahead, then your entire life savings could be drained in just a few years. So there are some solutions to this. The first one is long-term care insurance. And there are a lot of different ways that you can access long-term care insurance. There are different types of policies, from traditional long-term care insurance to life insurance policies with long-term care riders to different types of annuity products that have long-term care features. The other thing you can do is you can engage in some Medicaid planning. So you can plan ahead for the event that you need Medicaid. You got to do that at least 5 years ahead of when you go into the nursing home because Medicaid does have a look back period. You could do Medicaid planning by setting up a special type of trust that's designed to preserve your wealth while still qualifying for benefits, but you got to do it ahead of time. Now, must-have number 5 for seniors in the world of estate planning is a letter of instruction. And this is something that nobody thinks about. Even with a great estate plan, your family may still struggle if they don't know where to find important documents or how to carry out your wishes. And the reality is that an estate plan is a legal document. It's very black and white. And you may want to provide some nuance to your family to explain why you did things the way you did, to tell them what was important to you, to tell them about, maybe it's just to tell them some stories that you want them to know. So your family will need some guidance. And this letter is a great place to give them the information that they need to kind of fill in the gaps in your estate planning documents, which are, after all, are legal documents that are very black and white. So create that letter of instruction, include that with your estate planning documents, and it lays out for them clearly what your wishes are, what your intentions were, and that will leave your family not needing to guess during what will be a difficult time for them. If you want to make sure that your estate plan is complete and your loved ones are protected, we've put together a free estate planning checklist to help you figure out where the gaps might be in your plan. Just click the link in the description for our resources page and you can download it there. So let's do a quick recap. Number 1 must-have is a revocable living trust to avoid probate. Number 2 must-have is a financial power of attorney to allow someone to manage your assets if you go through a mental incapacity. The number 3 must-have for retirees is a healthcare power of attorney and living will or an advance directive for healthcare to control your medical decisions. The number 4 estate planning must-have for retirees is a plan for long-term care so your savings don't get wiped out. And the number 5 estate planning must-have for retirees is a letter of instruction to guide your family when the time comes. If you found this video helpful, then check out all of our other videos on lots of different estate planning topics. If you have something specific that you want to know about, feel free to drop a comment in the comments below and we'll make a video for you. I'm Mike Smith with the Estate Planning Guys.